Have you ever tried to get something brilliant out of an AI, only to get back something, well, kind of bland and useless? You just know the potential is there, but you can't quite seem to get the magic to happen. If that sounds familiar, you're in exactly the right place. In this explainer, we're going to show you how to close that gap and go from AI frustration to total mastery.
Okay, first things first. We need to get our heads around the size of this thing, both the opportunity and, the problem. We are living through a massive shift in technology, but there's this huge communication gap that's holding most of us back from really using it. And this isn't some small niche skill we're talking about. The market for what's called prompt engineering is on track to be worth a whopping $2.6 billion by 2030. A number that big is a massive signal of how important this is, but it also shines a light on a really big challenge.
And here it is. This chart reveals something pretty staggering. An estimated 95% of users have no idea how to communicate effectively with AI. That's the real source of all those disappointing results and wasted hours. So if you've ever felt that frustration, trust me, you are not alone.
So, the big question is, how do we get into that top 5%? Well, it all starts with understanding the basic rules of the game and, more importantly, understanding the AI you're actually talking to.
The number one tool in our toolkit is the prompt. And it's super simple. A prompt is just, it's anything you say or type to an AI to get it to do something. Whether you're asking, what's the weather? Or write a poem about a robot, you're using a prompt. It is the starting line for every single interaction.
But here's a really critical distinction to make. The AI we have today is nothing like those old, clunky chatbots that only understood a few keywords. We are in the age of generative AI. And instead of just following a strict set of rules, these new models use unbelievable amounts of data to generate totally new, original responses. That's why they can handle really complex, open-ended questions and sound so human.
And you probably recognize the big players here. You've got GPT, which is the engine running ChatGPT, fantastic for writing and coding. Then there's Claude, which really focuses on safe and clear conversations. And of course, you have Gemini from Google, which is built to tap into its huge universe of information. They've each got their own little quirks, but they all operate on the exact same principle. Your prompt is absolutely everything.
All right, so we get the AI now. Let's get to the fun part, mastering the art of talking to it. This is where we find the real solution to that big communication gap we talked about.
So, the solution to that 95% problem? It's a skill called prompt engineering. You can think of it as the art of crafting your requests to get exactly what you want from the AI. It's the difference between just being a passenger along for the ride and actually getting in the driver's seat. And let me tell you, the difference is night and day. Before, you might just say, write me an email. And what do you get? Some generic, useless block of text. But after you learn this skill, you get specific. You say something like, draft a professional 150-word email to follow up with the B2B prospect, make the tone courteous but persistent, and give it a clear call to action to schedule a meeting. And boom, you get a personalized, professional email that actually works. That right there is the power of a great prompt.
So how do you start doing this right now? It really just comes down to a simple toolkit. There are 4 keys to unlocking your AI's full potential.
They are specificity, clarity, structuring, and iteration. Now, don't think of these as 4 separate tricks. It's more like a complete process. Once you master these 4 keys, you'll have the foundation to get expert-level results every time. So let's break them down. First up, specificity. This is a golden rule, Vague prompts get you vague answers. It's like garbage in, garbage out. Asking an AI to summarize this article is a total shot in the dark. But asking it to write a 100-word summary of this article for a busy executive, now you've given it the context it needs to deliver something truly useful. Next, we've got clarity and structuring, and these two really go hand in hand. Clarity is all about giving step-by-step instructions. But just as important is structuring. That's where you guide the AI on how to present the answer. Tell it to use bullet points, or to follow a certain template, or even give it an example of the output you're looking for. That structure is what prevents those messy, disorganized walls of text. And the final key is iteration. And this one is huge. Nobody, and I mean nobody, writes the perfect prompt on the first try. The real magic happens when you refine it. You have to treat it like a conversation. You test your first prompt, look at what you got back, and then you adjust and optimize. A prompt that's just, okay, can become absolutely excellent with just 1 or 2 little tweaks.
So when you start putting these 4 keys into practice, something really amazing starts to happen. You go through a complete transformation in how you work with AI.
And this is the real payoff. Your productivity, it goes through the roof. You stop being that frustrated user and you become a confident expert. You become the person in the room who actually knows how to use this technology, which is exactly the kind of expert that companies are desperately looking for right now. You literally transform the way you work.
Which brings us to our final thought here. The AI is here, it's ready, it's waiting, and it's capable of delivering incredible, game-changing results. The only question left is, are your prompts?